Great. So today we're talking about jazz dance. So when most people think of jazz dance, they think of hats, turned in knees, finger snapping, Bob Fosse, the whole 9 yards, you name it. But here is the truth. Jazz dance did not start with Bob Fosse. It did not start there. Not even close. And if you are a dancer, a teacher, or even a parent with a child in dance, a dance enthusiast, a dance fan, this is something that you need to understand because jazz dance has a much deeper story. Okay, y'all, my name is Taylor, and welcome back to My Ordered Steps. I am a former professional dancer, a dance educator, a arts advocate, all the things. So welcome to my channel where we talk about dance, education, and the real stories behind what we do in the studio day in and day out. So today we are getting into the roots of jazz dance. Before Bob Fosse, before Broadway, before it became what most people recognize it to be today. Okay, so to truly understand jazz dance, you have to go all the way back to the continent of Africa. Because jazz dance didn't start with technique. It started with rhythm. African dance is grounded, bent knees, isolations, polyrhythmics, movement that comes from the torso and not just the limbs. And most importantly, rhythm is everything. Not like the 5, 6, 7, 8 that we count in class today, but the rhythm that you can just feel. Okay, and then there's also the call and response, the community, the connection. Dance wasn't about performing for an audience. It was about participating. Everybody was a part of it. A lot of those elements, the isolations, the grounded movement, the musicality, that is the foundation of what we now call jazz dance. So as Africans were brought to America through the slave trade, a lot was taken away from them. Their language, their traditions, their identity. But the movement stayed. Dance became a way to hold on to their culture. They had things like ring shout, juba, body percussion, ways of expressing themselves without instruments. And that rhythm, that movement, it didn't disappear, right? It just continued to evolve. And that's something that I always try to remind myself as well as my students, that it isn't just steps. This is history. Even in the hardest conditions, people still found a way to move. Okay, so now fast forward to the 1900s, the early 1900s, the Harlem Renaissance. This is where we really start to see what people would recognize as early jazz dance. The places like the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem were packed with dancers. And it wasn't like choreography, it was social dance. So you had dances like the Charleston, the Black Bottom, the Lindy Hop, and people were improvising, bringing their own style, their own personality. No two dancers look the same. And I think that that's a big part of jazz dance that sometimes gets lost today, the individuality of it all. Back then, it wasn't about being uniform. It was about being you. Jazz dance was alive, it was social, it was cultural. So as jazz dance grew, it started moving from social spaces to the stage. So then you had things like the vaudeville shows, Broadway, and entertainment circuits. And this, I think, is when things started to shift. Because now dance is being performed for an audience. And Black dancers were a huge part in shaping this style, but a lot of times they weren't given the credit that they truly deserve. You had artists like Jenny Lagon who brought jazz dance to film and stage, breaking barriers at a time when those opportunities were very limited. And what started happening was the culture was being created in the Black communities, but then adapted, packaged, and presented to mainstream audiences. And this is an important part of the story. Okay, so now we get to Bob Fosse. And don't get me wrong, Bob Fosse is a genius, and he definitely deserves his respect, his homage, honor. His style is very iconic. The hats, the angles, the isolations, the detail. But here's a key thing. Fosse didn't create jazz dance. He created a version of it, but his style was truly influenced by what came before him: vaudeville, burlesque, jazz movement, social dance. He took those elements and made something very specific and very stylized. And over time, that version became what people think jazz dance is today. But jazz dance is so much bigger than that. It's deeper than that. It's rooted in culture and history and community. So when you walk into a jazz class, when you hear the music and you start moving, you're not just learning choreography. You're stepping into something that has been passed down for generations. And as dancers, especially teachers, it is important that we all know that. Because when you understand where something comes from, you move differently. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all the things, and let me know if you learned something new today. And if you want more content like this, especially around dance history and education, let me know. If you got ideas for the next video, also let me know. All right, y'all. See you on the next one.